At this point, I just hope somebody doxes you, swats you, and then you get shot.
Trying to convince them that you are a monster! Do not come at me with double standards. I will slap it out of your name every time. It's been a long time since I've gotten this heated, but you are genuinely a deranged, disgusting human being, and I'm tired of people just sitting there winking at your nonsense.
This generally has to be the dumbest drama I've ever gotten myself into. Like, generally. So the YouTuber Lio Convoy, yes, that Lio Convoy, has recently accused me of being a predator, a UTTP affiliate, and wished harm on me. For those who are unaware, Lio is an art commentary channel who's infamous for its drama regarding the Senate and Hopeless Peaches. So in this video, I will be responding to Lio Convoy. But without further ado, let's get into this. To quickly get the context out of the way, I got a bit too silly. I swear this is actually important. The YouTuber Toastify recently got into some drama. I won't get into this unless needed, but in response to this controversy, two other content creators, UTTP and Lio Convoy, decided to cover the matter. I thought the videos were alright. Had some issues here and there, but I thought they actually had some decent criticisms, so I liked the videos and decided to join both of their servers. I only ended up verifying Gilded's server though, not Lio's. Now this is where the silliness comes in. In Gilded's server, I decided to do a bit of trolling, mischievously some may say, by acting like an absolute bed end. I wasn't harming anyone, at most I was being a nuisance. Like I was quite literally talking about the amazing digital circus, Garden of Banban, with a hint of Undertale.
Kane.
Did you just say Kane from the digital circus? You say Kane from the amazing digital circus. I love that.
Dude,
guys.
you're black?
I'm sorry for
Well, of
being
course,
black.
they had an anime profile.
I'm sorry
I
for
mean, they had an
being
anime
black.
profile pic, dude.
Kane from the amazing digital circus. I'm a huge fan of Kane from the digital
More like,
circus.
Kane, can you explain it?
My name?
Yeah.
My name is not from the Amazing Digital Circus. At all.
I think it is. You don't have to lie to me. Okay. You don't have to lie. You pretend like it's
Do you watch that show, Black Man?
No, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what gives you that impression. I watched the show.
Surely you like talking about it a lot. I assume you want to watch it. Or you already do.
No, but I'm actually a really big fan of Garden of Banban. Do you see the recent game in the series where Banban?
What game?
Yeah, Garden of Banban. Did you see where Banban he beats up like this really big snake, right? He beats up a really big snake.
Does he rape?
I swear this will make sense later. Though the people within the call for some reason were dead set on summoning Lio Convoy like he was some eldritch being. And judging by my reaction, I think you can tell I wasn't exactly keen on having the chronically aligned final boss making an appearance.
No,
I honestly, I really hope Lio comes into call soon.
What?
I really hope Lio comes into call soon.
Why would he join the call?
Okay. What's so funny? Dude? Up to? What's so funny?
It's a surprise. I definitely think Lio should be in this call.
Why should Lio be in this call?
You know why?
But seeing the context is out of the way, time for the main dish. After Lio joined, he made it clear he wasn't aware of who I was, but was most definitely told to join, for some reason. He was immediately under the impression I had ulterior motives, despite the fact, yes, I was trolling, but at the same time, I was actually talking about and playing Undertale.
Yes, that's finally working. I can finally hear. So what's going on, guys?
Oh no!
Do you know who this ZV person is?
Oh, let's take a look.
vAqeii?
Oh, bro.
Because I've seen him around with like other
I hope he doesn't know I brain.
Can't say
stream
I know him.
commentary people, and then he made like fan art for Exilin. So
I don't know who this person is, but they're in call, so I'm sure they can explain who they are with their own words.
Being completely retarded, they won't.
Okay, cool. I would like to hear from them, please. So what brings you here, stranger? What's your damage?
Okay, this is very awkward. I didn't expect this to happen. Okay.
yes, Mike needed
What'd
another
you
one.
say? What'd you say?
I said, what brings you here? What's your damage?
My damage?
Yeah, your damage. In other words, the colloquial for that is, what is your problem? Do you have an issue? Is there something you'd like to discuss? What's going on?
Oh, I don't have a problem. I just wanted to talk about Undertale since I'm playing it right now. I'm currently at Snowden. You know what Undertale is? I'm at Snowden right now.
Okay. What's I got? I was told you were trying to troll in here and not doing a very good job of it. What's that all about?
Well, I'm just talking about Undertale.
I highly doubt these people would be in call right now like this if you were just talking about Undertale.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about Undertale. I can share my screen if you want to see.
What were you doing before? What were you doing to try and troll in here before you were talking about Undertale?
Well, look, it's Undertale.
I'm not interested in what you're playing right now. I asked you a different question. I don't care.
It's okay.
I don't care.
What
I'm
is
asking
this?
you what it is you came in here to do. Because apparently you came in here and caused some trouble. So what was it you did?
I came in here to talk about Patel.
No, you didn't. Come
I
on.
did.
Don't be
I'm not-
dishonest. There's
I'm
no
not
point in it.
sad.
There's no point in it at this point.
As funny as it would be, I was quite transparent with my intent from the get-go. No, Lio still wasn't convinced and then threatened to ban me from his server.
Because if this is the attention you're trying to get to where you just deflect and you don't answer the question and you try to play dumb, people here are just going to get bored with you. You won't even get the attention you want.
Well,
So frankly, it's best for you to just...
Undertale.
No, you didn't come in here to talk about Undertale. Come on now. You
But
gotta stop lying to people. Lying's wrong.
I did.
How about this? Either you can start being honest and tell me what you actually did here to get these people riled up, or I can ban you from my server. How does that sound?
You threatened me, Lio.
I'll give you 10 seconds. 10,
They were fake.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, I guess I'll be going to ban you from my server now, since you decided to be silly. We're responding time.
Oh, Sunny.
Oh my god.
I didn't even say a word. I didn't even say a word. Guys, can we talk about the cultural significance of this scene? The Sans,
No.
when he meets
No.
Chris. Can we
No.
talk about there's quite the cultural significance.
No.
Well, I want you to know that our mutual servers just went from 2 to 1.
Judging by I hadn't even verified in the server yet, I think you can tell how much this interaction meant to me. Though, the people in call were quite confident I was here because of Toastify, and I genuinely had no idea why. And before anyone even tries bringing these comments up, I made them after Lio started accusing me.
It's interesting because the mutual friends we have are Stingling, Self-Neko, Deweasel, Amos, and Ace Howler. So, it's very obvious what community you're from. So, are you here because you're butt mad about the Toastify stuff? Is that what this is about? Or something like that? Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, I just wanted to talk about Undertale. Does it?
Does it?
If you
Okay,
check my
does it?
profile,
I don't care about your profile, son. I don't care.
if you go
I
to
don't
the
care.
activity, it says
I
that
don't
I'm
care.
playing Undertale after 2 weeks.
Cool, I didn't ask. I don't really care. I didn't ask. I don't care about Undertale. Undertale is for gaybos, so I don't care. Let's try this again. Are you butt mad about the Toastify stuff? Yes or no?
What happened with Toastify?
That's not what I asked you. I asked you if you're butt. Yes or no?
Well, I'm asking what happened so I can understand why I would be butt.
No, because you see, the thing is, if you didn't know, you would have just said no, because I don't know what that's about. So it's obvious you're baiting, and you're very bad at it.
I'm curious what happened.
Cool, then you can go Google it. You can go on YouTube or whatever you need to do, since you're trying your best to avoid answers here. Instead, I'm just going to let everybody else have their fun. I think I've gotten all the answers I need. You guys enjoy yourselves.
About poo and sweat.
But-
I don't know
but
what we're
what
talking
am I-
about because we're actually talking about Undertale
Okay,
right
wait,
now.
hold up, shut up. Okay, so looking at your Twitter profile, actually, I see that you follow Toastify, so are you two friends?
No,
Oh.
just because I follow someone, that means that we're friends. That's not how it works. Unless you want it to work that way.
What can I say? I love playing into the bit. But apart from the Toastify simp allegations, I genuinely thought we were just being lighthearted. Maybe getting into a bit of malicious territory, but I didn't suspect genuine outrage.
And I know
Now-
you're really experienced.
Now get down and give me 20 push-ups.
I mean, that sounds really difficult. Because I'm actually British.
You can't do 20 push-ups?
Yeah, we're not really known for our upper body strength in Europe. Convoy.
Well, it was you. How do you think you get it better? By doing push-ups, so get down and do some push-ups.
I don't want to do push-ups, Lionel.
Despite that, Lio was still in the impression that me, engaging with his attempts to involve Toastify, was the quote-unquote mask slipping. The only time the mask slipped was when I would periodically mute to laugh at the absurdity.
Yeah, can I ask a question? Who here has played Undertale?
Shut the fuck up.
Please shut up.
Nobody cares. Castrate yourself.
Okay, guys. So I was
Do
wondering
you think
if you
he's recording this
if
to,
you
like,
haven't
make
played
it
if you haven't played Undertale, have you tried Deltarune? Apparently the new chapter's gonna come out.
Ah! Shut the f up! God!
Apparently
Have
the
you
tried your rest yet?
apparently the new
So I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. So people are butt mad that other people are pointing out that Toastify should have produced information about a creep earlier. And one of the tactics for revenge, for lack of a better word, perhaps payback or countering, is to send some random weirdo into the server to talk about underage behavior.
I just really like Undertale. I don't know why you're trying to make this about LioConvoy. Can I say something? I think you have a very weird obsession with Toastify, which is making you associate me with him, which is...
Sure, I have an absolutely right. I'm totally obsessed with Toastify. That's why I did a single stream on him and nothing else, because I'm
Okay.
obsessed. Yeah, you're right,
Thank you
totally.
for admitting that, LioConvoy. Because some people, they don't have the... I'm going to say a naughty word. Some people don't have the balls to admit when they're obsessed with people.
Sure thing, buddy.
I'm
Sure thing,
more
buddy.
appreciative.
Well, you know what
On the same page.
Hold on. You know what I appreciate?
What?
That you were dumb enough to drop the act for 5 seconds.
What are you on about?
Oh,
Talking
magic.
about Undertale.
Sure you are.
Do you want to see?
It's just amazing when they sit there and they tell on themselves and then try to pretend, no, guys, I totally didn't just tell on myself. No, you don't understand. I'm just playing Undertale. Good thing, buddy.
I am playing Undertale. I can screen share again.
I honestly think Smash Bandicoot's generally more enjoyable to mess with. So I think the same about Brian Mullins. You're actually boring. And the sad thing is that you let the mask slip a couple of times, you might as well just take the whole thing off, son.
Who's Brian?
Lio was so convinced I was in the server to Super Toastify or whatever, that he started reading me Bible verses to prove I was lying about my intentions. I'm not joking.
The mask slip. Are we talking about like the what's her name from the Digital Circus? Gangle. Are we talking about Gangle? Gangle is known for wearing a mask.
Why do you keep talking about
No,
the Amazing Digital Circus?
because I like.
I have a question. I have a better question for you, whatever your name is. Have you read the Bible?
The Bible.
Yes.
The Bible.
I've heard of the Bible. Yeah.
How's this? We're going to start with Luke 17, verse 1, and we're going to go all the way through verse 4.
Okay.
Jesus said unto his disciples, things that cause people to stumble are bound to come. But woe to anyone
It's not
through
serious.
whom they come. It would be better for them to be thrown into the sea with a millstone tied around their neck than to cause one of these little ones to stumble. So watch yourselves. If your brother or sister sins against you, rebuke them. And if they repent, forgive them. Even if they sin against you 7 times a day, and 7 times come back saying to you, I repent, you must forgive them. That's one verse we're going to look at. Let's look at another one.
That's a good one.
Yep, that's a very good one.
Yeah. I actually have a little prayer book that has all of the little prayers and the hymns in it.
This is what I'm spending my night doing.
Fuck, I forgot to read the Bible. I wanted to, but I forgot.
How did you
He's
say
forward.
it? Never mind.
I mean, hey, I'm in the same thing. I tend to forget, but I do like reading my little prayer book that has all of the hymns and whatnot in it.
So, now we're going to move on to
Thanks.
Corinthians, 1 Corinthians specifically, chapter 6. If any of you has a dispute with another, do you dare to take it before the ungodly for judgment instead of the Lord's people? Or do you not know that the Lord's people will judge the world? If you are to judge the world, are you not competent to judge trivial cases? Do you not know that we will judge angels? Much more things of this life. Therefore, if you have disputes against such matters, do you ask for a ruling from those whose way of life is scorned in the church? I say this to shame you. It is possible that there is nobody among you wise enough to judge a dispute between believers, but instead, one brother takes another to court, and this in front of unbelievers. The very fact that you have lawsuits among you means you have been completely defeated already. Why not rather be wrong? Why not rather be cheated? Instead, you yourselves cheat and do wrong. And you do this to your brothers and sisters. Or you do not know that the wrongdoers will not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not be deceived. Neither the sexually immoral, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor men who have sex with men, there's a question on that one, nor thieves, nor the greedy, nor drunkards, nor slanderers, nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God. And that is what some of you were. But you were washed, you were sanctified, you were justified in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ and by the Spirit of our God. So what do you think that verse is specifically trying to tell you? I'm asking you what the entirety of the verse specifically was talking about. Because it listed off people who do not inherit the kingdom of God. So, one of the things specifically mentioned are people who lie. So, do you really think it's a good idea to come in here and lie?
But I also mentioned men who sleep with other men. Or,
Yep, they mentioned a whole slew of different things, but I'm pointing out specifically and focusing on the lie part. So, do you think it's right to lie to people?
no, I don't lie.
What you did here earlier. In fact, that's why I said your mask slipped.
How did
No,
I lie?
I would recommend, and I would appreciate it if you would stop lying. It'd be awful nice. You'd be a very good boy if you didn't lie.
Can you explain how I lied? LioConvoy?
Oh, like pretending like you're not in here because of the Toastify stuff. Come on. You already slipped. You might as well disown it.
No, that's not true. This because Toastify doesn't even like me.
I don't like you. You want to be simple about it? Yeah, I'll be simple about it. I don't like you.
Like, Lio was so dedicated to the belief I was here due to an entirely different person, I actually started playing into the bit. Unfortunately, even jokingly validating his delusions was my biggest mistake. There's nothing scarier than an old man who thinks he's right.
You know, now that we've given him a few minutes to quote-unquote think, all right, sport, what big boy conversation do you want to have? Because you have approximately 25 minutes of my time.
Are they talking about me?
Well, okay, there's going to be a little bit more dead air, and I can cut in really quick. I've been waiting pretty patiently,
Really talking about me?
and I just wanted to say...
all right.
Nope, actually, that's when the landlord showed up. I'm getting... Alright, sorry.
Poor Fox.
Based landlord is based.
Well, hopefully
They're
Fox
not
will get evicted. He's gonna have to go back to Section 8 housing again. Poor Fox. Little life.
Again, I got like 25 minutes, sport, so what big boy conversation do you want to
He's
have?
talking about me. Okay.
I do have a serious question for this dude.
Oh, God, Timber, shut up!
Hi guys.
What's the big boy conversation you want to have, sport?
Oh, okay. Thank you for giving me this time, LioConvoy. I know you're a very busy guy with a very packed schedule, so I'm really grateful.
And?
Oh, there's also more? Okay. Okay, LioConvoy. I wanted to talk about your stream.
Increasing. Alright, what about my stream would you like to talk about?
Okay. I wanted to talk about your stream, about how it would be really mean to Toastify. I don't think that was really nice.
Really, and how was that mean to him?
But you were mean to him, because...
How? How was that mean to him?
You were mean. You were mean.
You didn't think this. You actually didn't think this through, did you?
You were so mean to Toastify. You said mean stuff to him about...
What did I say? What was the worst, meanest thing I said about it?
I think we should rewatch your stream together. We can pick apart.
No, I mean, I actually don't think we do, because I actually know the.
So I eventually realized he wasn't getting any reaction out of me and paid to get me banned from Gilded's server.
Vlad, you said this guy's a patron of yours, right?
Uh-huh.
$1.
How much does he? How much?
An entire dollar, yes.
Okay.
Want
how many
more?
tiers do you have? Like, what's
You
the?
want more?
Does it go from 1 to 5 or what?
1, 5, 20, 50, and 100. Well, the 100 doesn't count, so it goes up to
Right. If I pay you 5, would you kick this idiot?
like a month.
What if I pay you 5? If I pay you 5.
Vicky,
Oh
you
my
can't.
God.
You can't even pay 20.
Yeah, I can. Hell yeah. You bet.
Honestly, I think
It's
the
a bet.
bigger issue here.
This is a
I
bet.
think the bigger issue here is that you're a coward. No, it's not a bet. It's me trying to see if you'll actually start opening your shell, and you absolutely have. Are you done playing games yet?
Playing games.
Are you done?
Well, I was playing Roblox earlier.
Oh, so we're back to this. We're back to this. Because here's the thing. I do now know enough to know that the general area you live, because you've been dumb enough to post about it online. You want to keep going?
You want to talk to me, LioConvoy? Please.
Where's he
Talk to
from?
me, please. Please. Can you tell me in the general area I live?
He's close enough to he's close enough to the crazy broad that he's obsessing with to make active threats towards her and mess with her door. Apparently, why don't you tell me why you're so mad at this person, this Caitlyn person? Tell me about it.
Doesn't she live in
Elucidate
America?
to me.
I'm British.
It's another.
But anyway, yeah, if you start paying me $5 a month, I would, yeah.
I will make it
All right,
20.
one second.
I'll make it 20. You got me.
No. For you got to actually pay the retard tax. You got to pay 50 a month.
No.
You can't afford that cameo.
There, done, Vlad.
Done it. You got
Actually,
me, LioConvoy.
okay. 1 second. I almost accidentally kicked Sunny. That would
That would have been funny.
Later.
Bye.
I think it's quite obvious this guy's just blatantly malicious towards me, he just doesn't like me. Lio likes to put up this vigilante persona, but it's very obvious he made a video and a stream talking about me, simply because he was butthurt. The man was butthurt. He fell for the bait and now he's mad. Like, I mean it when I say he would have never started digging into me if I never went into Gildabu's server. That's not being a vigilante, that's just being butthurt. This guy really made a thread in the server basically saying, tell me all the evil stuff vAqeii did so I can make a video on him. If I was as malicious as he first interpreted, you wouldn't need a group effort to find dirt on me. Like, the entire thread just screams, I don't like this person, but I don't have enough evidence to make a video on him, so I'm going to get enough evidence so I can do so. This is a 39-year-old man, by the way. He did all of this simply because he thought I was defended Toastify. I can't get over this. This is obviously scummy, but because he's right in some aspects, no one's going to care. But I digress. Regarding Undertale, it's weird because I'm not even kidding. I don't know how else to stress this. I was really in there to play Undertale. Throughout the entire recording, that's all I unironically do. Like, the entire recording, all I do is play Undertale. Like, you guys unironically see me go from the ruins to Hotlands.
Wait, I have a question for this guy. So you say, okay, so you said you follow Toastify, but you're not friends with him.
After getting banned from Gilda's main server, seeing as I paid him $20, I managed to gain access to his Patreon exclusive one, the Pulag. Yes, I paid $20 to continue a bit. When I say I'm dedicated, I mean it. I digress. Within the Pulag, I noticed how the people within the very core were trying to join my server. I made haste to kick and ban those who joined. Being in a VC with people who say things like this.
So Vicky, why do you think Muslims or children are a good thing?
You say Muslims? Isn't it pronounced Muslims?
Who cares? So why do you think saying children are a good thing?
I feel like you saying that is really mean. You shouldn't say it. Guys, that's not really.
Hey!
What should we do with
house kicked them into the concrete? I tell you what.
I don't drink, I don't cuss, I wanna ride on the front of the bus.
Was enough for me. I did not want them anywhere near my server, though Lio wasn't quite happy about this. You see, Lio was still under the impression I was toasted by a sweeper or whatever, and wanted any reason imaginable to demonize me.
Now again, why did you ban Fox? Why'd you ban Fox? Why'd you ban Fox? Okay, cool, you'll get over it. Why'd you ban Fox?
I am definitely banned from the server. I just tried to, but...
Why'd you ban from the server, Key?
Yeah, why am I banned from that server?
I'm not going to stop hammering on that. He's going to tell everyone why he banned Fox, or he's going to keep being quiet. Either way, later.
Now, you stupid slobbering. Tell us why the f you banned Fox from the goddamn server.
I mean, I didn't care that I was banned, but I think Lio's onto something. I think he's trying to cover something up, like, you know, he might kids. Might children.
He definitely does.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he grew children. Yeah.
Oh. So, slobbering. Why did you ban Fox?
Wait, I have a question actually.
Why are you?
We have a question first that you need to answer, and then you can knock yourself out and ask any question you want.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it, buddy?
Why did you ban Fox?
I don't want them in my server.
I thought that was, I have to be answering this question because I thought it was unironically self-explanatory. Like, do I have to really explain that?
Holy
I'm getting
shit!
confused.
But the only thing
Holy
you
shit.
succeeded in doing was getting us to export your server. So
Okay.
now it.
Could I leave now? Or do I have to stay?
No, I still want to know why you banned Fox.
Well,
But more importantly, why don't you just tell us why you banned Fox? I never got that answer. I'm curious.
This is highly ironic, since Lio paid Gilded $5 to get me banned from his server. You know, I'm getting mixed signals. You just like me enough that you paid money for my removal, but for some reason have this intense investment in my server in particular. It's not making sense. Why would I want people who are actively berating me in call to join my server? Not to mention, I didn't even know what their intentions were. If they're being hostile to me in call, what would they do in my server? Like, is this not a reasonable concern? If I'm under any impression that someone who joined my server intends to harm my community, I will ban them immediately. Someone who obviously doesn't like you, most likely has ill intent towards you, and is actively berating you in VC, joins your server. What are you doing? Unless you plan to troll them, which I had no intent of entertaining, why would you keep them in your server? Like, isn't it the logical answer to ban them? Am I being gaslit right now? Doesn't this make sense? I joined Gilded's server to have a bit of immature fun. Like, I was quite literally playing Undertow while acting like an utter idiot. I wasn't taking it seriously. I don't take much seriously. It's not on my character. I'm not even joking. I actually stayed there until I got to the Omega Flowly boss fight, of which I couldn't win because I'm bad at video games, and left the VC out of boredom. Knowing this, I didn't want this agent of chaos anywhere near me, and as the server owner, I'm allowed to dictate who is and isn't allowed in. Still, Lio was making the point I was allegedly a danger to minors merely because I didn't want this person in my server. I wish I was joking.
Your fan base is primarily children, and you have them in your server, so why'd you ban Fox?
You still got 3/4 Yoda in there, so I can see everything. So explain yourself. Why'd you ban me?
My point is, you are an inconsistent weirdo who's probably a child predator, so why don't you explain why you banned Fox?
It's not nice to falsely accuse me like that. It hurts my
I never made an accusation. I made a speculation. Now again, why did you ban Fox?
That's really mean.
Why'd you ban Fox? Why'd you ban Fox? Okay, cool, you'll get over it. Why'd you ban Fox?
The same guy in the later call was joking about essaying Caitlin Coy, the woman Lio is so desperately trying to defend. I know Peaches is jealous in heaven right now.
I mean, wasn't it like the Splatoon chick he was after? Wasn't she like a teenager before I ripped her last night?
God damn, you didn't share? What the f, man?
Yeah, I know you said you wanted to take that cherry, but I just couldn't help myself. What's the name of the Splatoon girl he's after?
Caitlin Coy.
Okay.
It's not like
Is she your best friend? She exposed 18+ imagery to minors.
Well, actually, I popped her cherry last night. I pinned her down and raped her and came inside her, and she might get pregnant. My goal is to actually get her pregnant.
No, you can't.
No, the thing is, here,
Fox, I thought you had her butt.
No, sorry, sir. I actually took her last night.
No,
real quick.
Can't do that.
You know how I didn't come to bed last night? That's because I was raping her in the basement all night.
Fantastic.
Lio, yes, you Lio was sitting completely complicit while he said this, by the way. Since we're playing the guilty by association card here, I shouldn't be shamed nor falsely accused of being a predator for not wanting them even loosely affiliated with me. Like, I feel like I'm going insane. Why am I the bad guy for not wanting this degenerate in the server which, according to Lio and his goons, is full of minors? Isn't it ironic they tried creating a narrative I was acting inappropriate around my audience, potentially a groomer, with no evidence to even support this, by the way, when they knowingly deployed this freak of nature in the same place they deem a playground? Yes, I know Lio claimed he archived my server.
By the way, just so you're aware, we have your server. We exported it, the entire thing. 2 people specifically did, actually, so shout out to those 2 individuals. So, you know...
Fox, can you message... Actually, wait, are you on speaking terms with Yoda? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Why?
Ask him to export the server, please.
Alright.
Wait,
Thank
what?
you.
Wait, Yoda can't do that. Yoda's...
Okay, but there are instructions you can point him to. So.
Alright. Open a prayer on that.
I think Lio, you're giving him too much credit. He knows less about this than you.
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe we can have somebody else walk him through it. But
were you not there for the Hebrew salt?
I was, but that isn't the same as lack of technical knowledge.
I think it's a lack of general knowledge, which is bad enough.
Right, before we proceed,
you know, it's really weird that he's that invested in me that he would actually go out of his way to archive my server. But you know, whatever, right? Did I forget to mention he's 20 years older than me? Like, this guy is so obsessed with me, like he went out of his way to join my server, leave immediately, get 2 people to join my server just to archive it, just to prove a point. This all happened because I played Undertale, by the way. I can't get over this, bro. But I digress. Lio wanted my server to be 18+.
vAqeii keeps children in his server.
But at the same time, I made the server when I was about 15 years old. How am I supposed to make an 18+ server if I couldn't even be old enough to be in it? I genuinely don't know what Lio expects from me here. Alas, this is where the infamous quote arises. While Lio was still dedicated to the idea of me being a Toastify simp who was also a predator, he just outright stated,
I'm actually just going to be to the point here. For somebody specifically like you who I have severe questions about, at this point, I just hope somebody doxes you, swats you, and then you get shot.
UTTP means in Minecraft. Okay, we're playing Minecraft right now. We're a bunch of Minecraft gamers. He means in Minecraft. That's not very nice, Lio Convoy.
I'm not intending to be nice. Did I say I was going to be?
You want someone to dog SWAT and shoot me?
Yes, that would be preferable to whatever you're doing here.
I think it would be pretty hilarious.
What did I do that warrants that Lio Convoy?
The way you are acting, the fact that you were avoiding questions, and I have severe skepticism about whether or not you're actually in communication with minors based on how you're responding here. That would be it. So why'd you ban Fox?
So evil.
Probably because he was afraid I'd expose him.
So
why'd you ban Fox?
Yeah.
I was still in character, of course, but this is just one of the most blatant displays of Lio's character I've ever seen. You're telling me I deserve harm simply because I didn't want your friend in my server. What? Interestingly, this was left absent from his mentions of me in his server and his stream on me. But Lio didn't mention this once in his stream on me. He didn't mention how he wished harm on me, threatened to ban me from his server for not giving him the answer that he wanted, sat complicit as people said the most revolting things imaginable in VC, and even falsely accused me of being a predator. Now, I imagine Lio was going to use the excuse that Fox was just being edgy, so I hope I get the same leniency when you discuss the DeReasal call, because word on the street, your friend Fox is in his 30s. Okay, this is off script yet again. I decided to do a little flash round. So these are the things that I just came to mind of things that Lio could probably come after me for. 1. Why did I private the videos live? I private the videos live because I thought it'd be funny. That's it. I thought it would be funny. I'll do something really funny, guys. He's reacting to my video. So. Got something evil. But what if I private all the videos? He can't react to content if there's no content. Guys, let's get evil. Let's see. He saw it live!
Becky?
He saw it live!
What's wrong, Becky? You mad?
He saw it live!
He just put it on private. His video's unavailable. He just hit it. What else did you hide, Becky? What'd you hide? Oh, he hid that video. Let's go to a different one. What a wuss! I'm gonna go to the stream real quick. Look at me funny.
No, he's gonna watch it.
A different one. What a wuss. Oh, he's watching it. Run more, Becky. Run more. Let's go and watch one of your other videos.
That's so great.
They end up just watching content and reacting to it rather than making their own. Talent. They could be doing something cool. They end up just watching content and reacting.
In your video, why did you complain about Caitlin Coy showing weed to minors?
Intriguing how she can private her personal account, but not the one which harbors 18+.
Okay, so the bong is considered 18 plus to this guy. And this is going to be a theme you see on, because it's not it's a bong. He's mad that she talks about weed, and it therefore is not fit for children. So yes, weed is totes, a major adult topic, and kids have never once been around them, seen them, or even been introduced to a thing like Dare at all. Who told them about these things? No, not.
When I made this video, I was a minor. Now, looking back on it, I'm like, that's such a nothing burger. There are a few nothing burgers in the Caitlin Coy videos. I will admit that.
Secondly, after going over the original video and having a certain YouTuber tell me, I realized my mention of weed was somewhat void and moral grandstanding. She has stated she possesses it legally and presumably uses it medically. It's more of a grey area. But honestly a bad move on my part. I let my own moral compass seep into that segment of the video, my bad.
Wow. There are a few nothing burgers, but there are actually things that are important. Like, one of the most important things was how Caitlin Coy had an 18+ Twitter account where she would post very inappropriate things. And one of her friends, who she knew was a minor, she was aware this person was a minor, and the minor said to her, hey, I'm a minor, I should probably not follow your 18+ account. And Caitlin Coy went and said, no, you're mature. On top of this, Caitlin Coy would have a 16+ server. In the 16+ server, there was an 18+ channel in there. There was an 18+ channel in there where you could see adult material. She only shut down the 18+ channel when I got involved, by the way. Like, the moment I joined the server, she immediately went and made this announcement. So she knew what she was doing.
And it only gets worse from here, folks. She allowed her friend, who is a minor, someone under the age of consent, to follow her 18+ account. She stated they talk more like an adult than she does.
FBI? Him. Come on in! Hurry!
This is an open contradiction to her previous statements, such as the ones which stated that she blocks minors who follow her 18+ account. And here we are, Caitlin allowing a minor to follow her not safe for work account, purely because they're friends. Wow, Caitlin, I didn't know friendships quite easily transcended the law like that. And even her friend, the minor, suggested they should unfollow one another, to the dismissal of Caitlin. How is the minor more mature than the literal adult? This is disgraceful. I honestly can't believe this. She's actively allowing her friend, who is a minor, to view 18+ content, even after she stated she wouldn't allow minors to view it. The fact she had to be pressured to private blatant 18+ content towards her mostly minor audience should be telling enough. But something I just like to remind everyone is, she put, minors do not interact, in her bio. But was caught, quite literally, interacting with minors. And on the topic of interacting with minors, remember her 16 plus Discord server? The one where she actively allowed for minors to view adult material without any proper checks. Well, she had a 13-year-old, ironically enough, right in the open. They stated their age in the introduction channel, and to my knowledge, they're still in the server to date. So not only does Caitlin interact with minors with her 18 plus account, but she also allows 13-year-olds in her 16 plus server. You just can't make this stuff up.
And in her stream, she would mention 18 plus topics despite the fact that she knew that they were minors there.
Oh, I remember this one time that, I don't know exactly what was going on, but my Chinese teacher hooked up her computer, and there was some kind of a PowerPoint presentation or some kind of a DVD, and something popped up. It was like softcore. Here's the thing, I know how to talk to men. I know exactly what to say to men to immediately get them interested in wanting to come over that very same night and, have a little bit of 18 plus fun. I know exactly how to talk to men. Like, what the f? You ask me how Patreon works, I tell you how it works, and then you think I'm asking money for sex? What? So like, there's some guys on Tinder that are just like, ew, guy with men. I'm basically in control of the conversation, because I'm like, I know that my words are in control of his pants, essentially. But basic Rayquaza, your mother should have swallowed you so you didn't end up finding an egg and coming onto this world just to curse us with the burden of your existence. And we had quite a good time, and I assure you, no matter how ugly you think I am, I get more action than you do. You're not gonna have sex? I don't know, catching a man's attention is easier than catching a cold on Tinder, okay? So
As a woman,
My words are in control of the man's head.
as a woman,
I'm trying not to be like super explicit, but I mean, yeah, I do have that control. Wait, you have sex? Like, yeah, when I talk to men, I know exactly what to say. I know that I'm in the position of like, I have something that you want, so you kind of have to, you know, peanut butter jelly. No, it's a song by RuPaul. Don't look it up. Don't look it up if you're a minor. God damn it. It sucks having a pretty young fan base on YouTube. I am just aware that younger members may be here. So I'm not going to talk about not safe for work topics, but I will swear, and I will also talk about weed.
She knew that minors were present, and she also stated on Twitter that her YouTube streams would be family friendly. I don't know why Lio is stating that it's...
And Caitlin Coy has done some things that need to be addressed. Some.
When there's literally a pattern of behavior, and she has literally gone to children, started venting to them, to literal minors. She did it to me. She tried guilt tripping me. She started harassing minors. Like, it's insane. It's genuinely insane, and for some reason, the brooms are coming out. Why? Like, this isn't your next Peaches, bro. You're doing too much. Why did you stab a iPad?
Because what I did find out is Buddy Boy here became so unhinged, he sent videos, one of which I think was of him stabbing some stuff. Because that's just what an adult does, I suppose. This is part of the joke vAqeii made. This vid isn't intimidating, it's just effing awkward. And why is he wearing a glove? Let's find out. Tough guy, can't even stab the thing right. What a pussy.
Not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
And I'm going to take full accountability for this because this was actually unhinged. I did this when I was a minor, significantly younger, and I intended to do it as a joke. Like, I'm going to be so honest, I genuinely did not understand, like, how unhinged it would be. Like, I thought it would just genuinely be funny. That was the intent. The intent was to copy one of those tweets where someone says, "Grr, I'm so mad," and there's like a picture of like a switch broken in two, or like their TV broken. Like, that was the intent, but I obviously went too far with it. Those two are not on the same level of humor, and yes, I know I did this as a minor, but it doesn't really condone the action. Yes, I need to take accountability for this. I'm actually sorry. I did apologize to Caitlin Coy when the situation happened. An apology is somewhere. I did in fact apologize, but I will apologize again because yes, this was definitely unhinged. I know I did this as a minor, but still, I can imagine Caitlin Coy was probably creeped out by this, and yeah, I apologize. I feel like what also didn't help was I was surrounded by people who were condoning this behavior. Like, this entire time I've been surrounded with a bunch of people who would condone this, and over time I just felt like I just rationalized that yeah, this is fine, this is something that I can do. I felt like I just added on because the people who actually condoning this were adults. They were older than me. They were grown adults who were condoning this, and I feel like that really influenced me more than it should have. But I just want to say, like, the iPad didn't work, and it was scissors, right? They were scissors. The iPad didn't work, right? Nothing was harmed. I never really broke anything for the sake of like for it to win. Everything I showed was already broken to begin with. Why did you make so many videos on Caitlin Coy? I'll say this as many times as I need to, because there's a blatant double standard in the Splatoon community and no one's ready to discuss it. If a man did half, and I mean half of what Caitlin did, he would have been called a predator minute one. But when Caitlin does it, she gets a pass on every front, and whenever she does get any pushback, it's always so minuscule it's not even noteworthy. It gets even worse when taking in consideration she was pushing 30 when doing all of this. You can dislike and hate me all you want, but denying the fact my videos have actual criticisms is just dishonest. But the compilation videos were for money though, I'm gonna be honest. And I don't want to say anything, but I always seem to notice that people defending her are either old like her, her, like millennials, like these people are actual uncles and aunties, or they're like infants. But either way, I'll keep on bringing this up. Fantastic was falsely accused of being a predator. Falsely accused because there's no evidence to support this. He was falsely accused of being a predator and he was chased off the internet. Caitlin Coy has done so much. There's evidence to support the fact that she acts inappropriate towards minors, and people just don't care. They just don't care. I just find it so interesting in the Splatoon community that a man can do so little and get chased off almost immediately, but Caitlin Coy can get away with this every single time and no one seems to care. It's an insane double standard. I can understand when people say that my videos on her can be excessive, but at the same time, people say that I make my entire personality based on Caitlin Coy, but I have 63 videos and only about 9 of them are actually based on Caitlin. That's not even half, not even a quarter of my videos are based on her, and that's including the compilations, by the way, so realistically it's only about 7. Why do I have Toastify added? This one's more for Lio than anyone else. Lio tried insinuating I was blackmailing. No, I'm not joking. Blackmailing Toastify because I had him added on Discord.
Why do you have Toastify added when you know he doesn't like you?
What does Toastify have to do with this?
It has to do with you throwing him in here because you thought it'd be funny. I want an answer to my question. I don't want any more of your much mouth
join.
going on. That's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you. Focus on what I asked you. I asked you, why is he on your friends list when you know he doesn't like you?
What do you think, dude? Oh,
I don't know. I'm asking you. Why don't you answer the question? Why don't you answer the question instead of trying to obfuscate again, mushmouth? How's that sound?
I think you have an opinion, and you just don't want to tell me.
Cool. I want the answer from you. I want the answer from you.
No, I want to know your opinion first.
Why don't you tell me the question? Why don't you tell me the answer to the question first? How's that sound? I think that sounds great. Why don't you do what the adult tells you to? Follow order for once in your life.
No, you should tell me what you think first.
No, you're going to tell me why you have somebody who you know doesn't like you added. Because regardless of what I think of Toastify's previous actions, if I find out you're menacing other people here, I'm going to make sure it's worse for you. So if I find out these people are added on your little chat here because you intimidated or harassed them, it's going to be worse for you.
Do you think
why don't you actually tell me the reason? Because if you're not telling me, if you're not telling me, all I have to do is go by my assumptions. I'm giving you the courtesy of giving your side of something before I immediately make an assumption. So why don't you follow through with that?
This guy thing. Oh my god, you're so malicious.
More avoiding instead of answering.
You ask the dumbest thing to get surprised when I don't answer. When I ask you a stupid question, you don't answer, but it's your turn.
Oh, brother, I've asked you multiple solid questions that you absolutely avoid or pivot from. Don't even. I've asked you multiple solid questions. I've asked you multiple solid questions. What religion do your parents follow?
I don't think that's relevant.
Is it Islam? Are they Muslim? Is that it?
Oh, my mic didn't pick that up.
Oh, it did.
Yo, you let me buff grounds!
What theology? Simple question.
Why is this relevant?
You've taken 6 minutes so far to avoid instead of just answering.
Why is this relevant?
Alright, then let's try a different direction, okay? Let's see if we can follow this one. Do you follow the religion they raised you on? So what theology do your parents follow?
Shh. Queen, you're slaying too loud.
So why don't you just answer the question? Why do you have somebody you know doesn't like you added?
I'm confused. Why is this painted as evil?
It's a question. It is a question because I choose for it to be a question. Get over it. Now answer the question. Oh man, it sure is quiet. Some amazing silence. Well, since I've proven that you're a wuss on that, or an outright pussy, let's go ahead and move on to the next thing.
Me and Toastify are not friends. Him disliking me is common knowledge, and that's fine. I don't need a YouTuber to personally like me to enjoy their content. It's not a big deal. Although, Toastify sent me a request so we could discuss another situation with me. That's it. This was a while ago, and I assume he just forgot to remove me. I mean, he did it after this call, so I can only assume that was the case. This guy is so genuinely unhinged, because how is your takeaway that 2 people who aren't friends, who also have each other added on Discord, literally Discord, must mean that one is blackmailing the other? Like, there's genuinely something wrong with this guy. Like, what? This isn't even speculation anymore. This is just straight up schizophrenia. I'm sure everyone's seen the dreaded ZV admission call. Let's talk about it. You know how this happened? They came after me. And I was like, you got the wrong person. Go after Caitlin Coy. And it worked.
Why were you lying about it so much?
So why was I lying about it so much?
Yeah.
Because I'm my career. I make £300 a month.
Alright.
Someone decided to come clean. Yes, I do know people from the UTTP. Yes, I do know them. Yes. It was pretty obvious. I'll be leaving. I'll be quitting. It doesn't matter. I'm finished. It's done now.
I'm asking you, like...
You're gonna send this to Lio, and then he'll tie up the bones. Beautiful little video. They originally, you know how this happened? They came after me in Beast Server. They came up in Beast Server. And I was like, you got the wrong person. I was like, you got the wrong person. Go after Caitlin Coy. You're not gonna get anything from me. You're not gonna get any entertainment value from me. You're not gonna get entertainment. Nothing. Right? If you want real entertainment, go to Caitlin Coy. She's a low cow. And they're like, oh, damn, for real? I was like, yeah. And then they went off the hell. They left me alone.
Send them after Caitlin Coy.
Yeah, I did. I went and said, listen, you're not gonna get any entertainment from me, right? It was either me or her, right? Because they weren't gonna leave me alone. They were after this stunning guy for 3 years. I was like, nah, I don't want to deal with that. I was like, let me give you a better locale, right? Let me give you a better one. Because you're not gonna get anything from me. Everyone thinks I'm transphobic, homophobic, they think everything. You're gonna get nothing from me. And they were like, damn. I was like, yeah. And it worked. And they left me alone. They decided to be like, go after them, go after. I was like, no. It was either me or her. It was either me or her. I'm not gonna be after her for 3 years. Okay. I want to be me. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that, bro.
Okay, then I guess another thing is...
300 pounds a month, hello? That's 300 pounds a month, buddy. That's 300 pounds a month. That's 300 pounds a month, bro. You think I'm playing? That's 300. But now I'm like, no, there's no point.
Okay. Fucking hell. Okay, so you are guilty.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, dude.
I'm quitting anyway. I had a lot of fun in the community. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. You're really nice, Ace. I'll always remember you. Okay, I just want to add like a bit more context to like the UTTP thing. The first interaction was around, I'd say, September or October. They attempted to harass me wherever. I wasn't giving them attention, so they decided to raid a mutual server. This is where I just outright stopped them and said to them straight up, you were not going to get anything by coming after me. I did not care. I wasn't going to entertain them like the other Splatoon YouTubers were, and that they should go after Coy, as she would be the perfect locale for them. They were spamming my comments, DMs, attempted to raid my server, leaked my Snapchat, and made a video with fake screenshots. I didn't necessarily care until they, raided the mutual server, so I wanted to essentially redirect because telling a bunch of trolls to leave obviously wasn't going to work. It's like telling a guy who just stole your phone to come back here. Bro's not coming back. Was this evil? Most definitely, but me as a miner was already going through enough. I did not want more added to my plate. Coming after me was like, whatever, but the moment unrelated parties got involved, I wasn't too keen. I assumed Lio was gonna have like a really easy job painting me as like a monster, but I do genuinely care about my mutuals. I'm not the kind of person who likes to drag others down with me, despite whatever I said as a miner to sound cool. I think that's really lame. That's the main reason I sent Goat Cattle that voice message. Those who know, I could handle them attempting to raid my server as I actually had it secured. Doing it to a mutual server was like, that's where the concern came from. But in the end it worked. At the time I wasn't really aware of what the UTTP was. I just thought they were like a bunch of trolls. I thought the worst they would do is probably someone come and say mean things on a server or whatever, and then eventually get bored and leave her alone. Those are the things that could be easily be circumvented, so I thought, it can't be that bad. I wasn't necessarily worried. I especially believe this because the worst thing they did to me personally, was just leak my old Snapchat account. Fast forward, things obviously got really bad. But in full transparency, I never really sent anyone after Lio. I sent the video to several mutuals and in the GC with someone who I suspect is part of the UTTP. And then he sent it to someone else who I know for a fact is now part of it, as he admitted he was going to do something about it. The Southbrax one, where I was going over the allegations which went through, like the document, there was 57 pages, right? Of nothing, but just yap. And everyone in the Splatoon community were taking it as gospel, so annoying. So the Lio Convoy stream was actually, I think it was really eventful, because something actually happened. Like, you see, yeah, something genuinely happened. It was actually shocking.
Speaking of Lio, bro, yeah,
what about Lio?
Remember that clip that you screen shared?
Yeah?
Yeah, that guy who was playing Among Us with, he was asking me about the LioConvoy situation. I was telling him about it, we was chatting it up. But I thought it'd be easier if I just showed him the clip. So I sent him the clip.
What are we doing right now?
Just on a game right now.
Just playing. You take something, hold on.
Yeah, give me a second. I'll do that right now. Alright. What do you want? What do you need?
I was just gonna ask, right? I was supposed to ask you this earlier, but like, have you spoken to Hezzy recently?
Quite recently, yeah. Why'd you ask?
I was just gonna ask, like, did he send you anything, like videos, clips, like anything?
Well, we were speaking about your stream, about how that Lio guy's a freak and all that. We were talking about that quite a lot. But I got you there, you don't need to worry about that. I had some friends take care of it. You don't need to worry about that anymore. But yeah, that guy's a freak, bro.
What do you mean I don't have to worry about it? What? I knew this person since I was 15/16, but upon finding out what he was doing, I cut him off. I was not aware he had any ties to the UTTP until later. The person at some point ended up getting in contact with the wannabe UTTP kids. Considering I've known him for that long, he knows much more about me than others. Like, can think whatever he wants, but I was swatted in a recent stream. That's when I knew this wasn't worth it. This is when I decided, that's it, I'm going to just confess to Ace. I was manic and genuinely panicking. I just wanted to get over with. I was genuinely manic. I was not in the right state of mind whatsoever. Although the only thing I admitted to, I repeat, the only thing I admitted to was telling the people that were going to harass me to harass Coy instead. That's all I admitted to. I'm not friends with these people, nothing. But yeah, I lied, because realistically, imagine how bad it will sound. Yeah, I told people known for harassing others to harass someone else. I wanted them to get away from me, and fast. I thought that was the clearest solution at the time. I was a mind that didn't know what to do. If they could go after one mutual, who's to say they won't go after more? Hence why I apologized to said mutual privately after this happened. I genuinely didn't want to fall into a pattern. It even got worse when taken into consideration. Apparently the UTTP also had ties to CP rings. These people went by the name LKJ or whatever, and I think they only decided to use the name UTTP recently. Just because someone uses the name UTTP doesn't mean they're associated with the people who allegedly are related to the CP rings. Like, I feel like it's really disingenuous to try and paint me as like some CP ringleader or whatever, just because I told these people once I told these people to go after someone else instead of me. We've already established Lio doesn't like me, so the whole being disingenuous thing is not out of the realm of question. Okay, this is just me noticing. I was editing and I just noticed Lio made a tweet saying that because I made fan art for Pardo, right? Because I made fan art for him, that means that I must know what the UTTP is. What? When everything transpired, I did not know what the UTTP was. I was not sure what it was. Okay, so you're telling me just because I make fan art for someone, just because I make art for someone, that means that I should know everything about their content. It doesn't work like that. I made art for Excellence, someone you covered in stream, Lio, and yeah, I've never watched any of his content. I only watched one video, and that was the video he made on Ace. That was it. And saying I watched the video is generous, considering I skimmed through it. Just because I make art for someone, that doesn't mean I watch all their videos. It doesn't work like that. But I digress. The whole CP ring allegation? This was news to me. Who was I supposed to tell? And could I even trust them? During the Caitlin Coy iPad incident, I was being encouraged by literal adults to continue this behavior. So the adults around me at the time were already bad influences, and turns out another content creator I could have told would just record our calls and use it against me later. So not only did I have no one to go to, but regardless of how I put it, I'd look horrendous either way. Yes, I lied, and I take accountability for doing so. I'm sorry for causing others to get harassed, but this wasn't my intention. What I did was stupid, and I'll continue apologizing for it. I'm genuinely sorry. It was not my intent for anyone to get doxxed or harmed, but I had literally no one to talk to. I was a minor who was practically isolated. I genuinely didn't know what to do. Me saying I had fun in the confession call was in reference to how I liked the community I had. I enjoyed interacting with others. I didn't enjoy the whole UTTP doxing situation, and whoever thinks that as being disingenuous. But at the same time, I didn't want all of that to go away just because of a stupid decision I did when I was younger. Oh, and by the way, Caitlin, remember when you were conspiring with the guy threatening the docs and harm me? Yeah, I never forgot this. I'll try and make this segment as brief as possible, because I honestly do not want to talk about this. I just remember the situation, and I do not want to make this a spectacle. You're blaming me for the actions of entirely different people, when the extent of my involvement was essentially a redirection. Interesting, when you've admittedly been in contact and conspired with someone just as malicious. Remember Toph? Thought we would never see the light of day, considering how things ended up, but here we are. Originally, Toph contacted me claiming someone else, lesbian squids or whatever, were threatening to IP grab me, before he did a full 180 and decided to join in on the fun. Toph was the owner of the Splatoon server, Ink Royalty, but you see, this server had a private channel where the real alpha rules came out. And as you can already assume, Caitlin was added to this channel. In this channel, Toph would go on to threaten me with violence and much more. You can pause the read because I will try my best to avoid narrating these if I can. Toph made the claim he had my address. Caitlin was present, was quite literally complicit. During this time, Toph appeared to be her white knight. Lio, you have competition. Caitlin Coy, go rest. I got this. These are the people who are Caitlin Coy fans, by the way. Like, I don't want to say anything, but every single time there's a Caitlin Coy fan, they always seem to match your criteria. Oh, I'm not saying anything, but after Toph got my address, he claimed he was going to send people at my door, torture me, quote unquote, taking me out and on a date, to airstrike me, report bomb, and more.
This is just like a talking channel. Hey, everyone, do you think I'd make me famous to assassinate vAqeii? Like, just JFK him? What the f- What the fuck? What is this? What is this channel?
He's black.
Wait a minute, go back. It said like if he's black. Relax, that he's black. Oh, that's racist. That's racist. That's a little racist. That's a little racist. Relax, he's black. He'll know what a drive-by is. That's racist. That's racist! I will then send my bot army. The what now? The what? And minors follow that Twitter account. And oh yeah, remember when you let minors into your NSFW channel and we're just not gonna talk about that? Okay. Whatever. Not the wrong even never fly. Oh, it's me. I need all these minors to feel bad for me. I'm 30, by the way. Please feel bad for me. Oh, guys, please. I need sympathy. Oh. If you feel bad for me, I'll let you into my channel, even though you're minors. Last ping, I promise. The yellow and the will be gone by the end of February. Give me a little time. I'll take both out. At Kate McCoy, you have my word. That's the stupidest, corniest I have ever read on Splatoon Discord. Because that's like not happening.
Unlike you, Caitlin, I wasn't aware of the extent of the behavior from the get-go. By the time the LKHJ, whatever their name is, actually got vindictive. But you were in the same space as someone you were fully aware was threatening to harm me, and stayed complicit. It's so ironic you cried relentlessly about being doxxed, and yet stayed in contact with someone who threatened to torture me. As a matter of fact, you didn't care as long as Toph didn't mention you. You can't make this up, you really can't. You didn't care about what this asylum escapee did, as long as it didn't tie back to you. And I'm the one being revered as an absolute nutcase. It's poetic, isn't it? I'm still not done either, because isn't it interesting how you saw how Toph was threatening me, but upon seeing a comment onto one of my videos, which just so happened to be in my favor and not yours, that's when you considered leaving. The idea of leaving never dawned on you when my life was potentially in danger. Only when you saw a YouTube comment, yes, a literal comment you didn't fancy, that's when you decided, maybe I shouldn't be here, maybe I should leave.
Some patients have an unusual sensation or feeling known as an aura that alerts them to an upcoming seizure before it happens. The aura is actually a simple focal seizure, also known as partial seizures. So she literally gets a seizure from reading. Okay. That's great. Oh god, wow. That's... Log off, like, at that point, like, just log off.
The most I had to do with the UTTP/LKHJ, whoever their names are, right, was telling them to go after someone else, not me. That's it. That's all I admitted to. While you, Caitlin, were gladly interacting with a self-admitted doxer. Like, you genuinely can't make this up. You were an adult, and the older person in every situation listed, and yet you chose the wrong path each and every time. Big difference is, I was a minor who didn't know how to treat a situation, who also didn't know the extent nor the dire consequences of my actions, while you were 29, fully aware of what was happening. But to be fair, didn't we do the same thing? So why am I the one being criticized here? You know what you did, Caitlin. You just hoped you'd be able to get away with it.
I think somebody among us is not...
Caitlin is generally so funny because she's using the fact that I lied about my association with the UTTP as a scapegoat to say that all my videos on her are full of lies. That's not true. You still let your minor friend access your 18+ Twitter account. You still had the 16+ server that had 18+ materials, which had a 13-year-old in there. We're not gonna play that game. I'm not gonna let you play that game. Didn't you say your streams are family friendly? So why are you saying this?
Shy with men. I'm basically in control of the conversation because I'm like, I know that my words are in control of his pants, essentially. Oh, I remember this one time that, I don't know exactly what was going on, but my Chinese teacher was hooked up her computer and there was some kind of a PowerPoint presentation or some kind of a DVD and something popped up. It was like softcore. I am just aware that younger members may be here. So I'm not gonna talk about not safe for work topics.
Like, it's generally so funny how people are ignoring the fact like there is countless evidence of Caitlin being inappropriate towards minors. Countless. But this happens and everyone's like, wow. Like, this is why I say she's the queen of gaining sympathy. Because tell me how there's countless evidence of her being inappropriate towards minors, right? At her big age, she wasn't a minor. No, she did this in her mid-20s, mid to late 20s. Countless evidence of this. But this happens and people immediately focus on that. It really shows where people's priorities lie. Like, I'm genuine when I say this should be studied. We need to study this because tell me how she does all of this and she always gets away with it. She needs to be studied. Please, we need to study her because every single time she gets away with it. My detractors are always so pathetic because whenever they want to come after me, they always say, didn't you make this many videos on Caitlin Coy? And then they don't actually watch the videos and they don't realize the person that they're trying to defend has a long history of being inappropriate around minors. They just want to come after me and they don't actually do their research. If a man did half of what Caitlin Coy did, he would have been called a predator. I'm sorry for telling them to go after you instead of me, but this behavior is unacceptable. I've avoided touching on the situation, solely because I don't want to talk about me literally being groomed on the internet, so I'll keep it brief. Lio and his friend contacted my groomer to spite me. Lio tried pushing me on this in a call, of which I didn't respond, not because I was watching the creepypasta song or scrolling Twitter, but because I unironically didn't want to tell some random old man about the time I was taken advantage of as a minor.
So I was told that you are claiming that one of the people who made a doc on you is a groomer, yes?
Where are we going with this, Lio Convoy?
You'll find out when you answer my questions. Is that correct? It's a yes or no question, it's not an essay question. Let's see, what's their name here? Danielle Dar. Does that ring a bell? Don't freeze up on me now. Or are you trying to think about how you can make yourself a victim through this line of questioning? How old were you when your relationship with her started? I'll give you 10 seconds to answer. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Why are we counting down? What's going on?
4, 3, 2, 1. You got the answer yet? Or did you magically just zone out because of your anime backstory? How old were you when Danielle and you were dating, quote unquote? Okay, we're gonna play these games. Weasel, are you still in contact with that person via their Twitter account? Do you still have the Twitter account you contacted them on?
Yeah, they still have me followed, I believe, but they never really responded to any more of my messages.
I shouldn't be pressed by an older man to talk about something as delicate as this. I was groomed and essayed by this person when I was around 14 to 16. We had a messy, dare I say, breakup, to which Daniel had a minute vendetta against me. At first, things seemed fine, we were still friends, but she tried a myriad of things to ruin my relationships in real life. The moment I decided to officially cut them off, that's when the actual problems arised. She was overall a fake friend, but all my other friends seemed to like her, so it wasn't exactly an easy choice. In May of 2023, they released a document accusing me of being a murderer, breaking into houses, and an art thief. I originally didn't take it seriously because 1, I was a kid being accused of this, and secondly, the document was so obviously fake. Like, imagine putting art theft allegations in the same document you accuse someone of being a murderer in. It was obviously fake, and anyone who still takes Danielle seriously in 2025 is an utter fool. Lio's friend messaged Danielle in late 2024. I only found out as one of my friends, who's still in contact with her, let me know. I had to practically pry this information out of him. After getting admittedly pissed off he was contacting my literal groomer, I immediately got into contact with Lio's friend and confronted him about it. Lio's friend attempted to gaslight me before finally coming clean. I understand my freakout could be seen as unwarranted, as he didn't know what they did to me, but the fact he attempted to gaslight me at all was what really set me off. This guy has always been a gaslighter, and at some point I just accepted that as who he is. Though what both Lio and his friend does next is what takes the cake. Within a later call with the three of us, Lio, his friend, and me, Lio tells him to DM Danielle, despite the fact they're both aware of what they did to me. Imagine hating me so much that you'd contact a groomer just to get one up on me. I don't have a support system. My own friends and family were aware of this relationship and no one cared. They were all aware I was groomed, and quite literally no one cared. My own friend of over a decade now is aware of what Danielle did, and yet he's still friends with her. I cut ties with him, but every single time I'm friends with someone, they do something I dislike and I cut them off, they always go the revenge route, every single time. How am I supposed to realistically cut anyone off if they'll just go feeding for revenge? I feel like I'm constantly trapped in toxic relationships, platonic or not, simply because they'll develop a vendetta against me, and I'll be the one who gets hurt in the end. Oh, and by the way, my name wasn't public knowledge. Lio has been calling me by my first name constantly, and it's interesting because the person who originally doxed my name was Danielle, the person who groomed and essayed me. Good job not only contacting a groomer, but also using their victim's docs.
So, actually, I'm just here to say, Vincent, I don't know why you're in here trying to cause a ruckus. You belong in an unmarked shallow grave, Vincent. And I don't mean that hyperbolically, metaphorically, any of that. I mean that literally. Die. I wanted to hop on and give Vincent some grief, and also tell Raven to not buy me a pizza.
I don't care what you say, man. I'm getting you a pineapple pizza.
Oh, speaking of which, Ace, how did you like my final call with Vincent there?
Oh, you see, I got there like,
is this not disgusting to anyone? And if you thought the toaster fight allegations were ludicrous, we are even scratching the surface, as they attempted to insinuate I was also blackmailing Danielle.
Are you still in contact with that person via their Twitter account? Do you still have the Twitter account you contacted them on?
Yeah, they still have me followed, I believe, but they never really responded to any more of my messages.
Okay, I have a feeling that's because Numbnuts here threatened them, because I honestly am not sure if I buy the grooming claim. Simply because of the closeness and age they had, and the fact that, well, number one, I know for a fact Doofus here doesn't report anything to the cops, and has provided no evidence to the claim, and suddenly it magically only came out when it came time to do a measuring contest against Hippleton and to come down on you for totes talking to his groomer that he still for some reason has added, when you were getting close to this. So if you would please let her know that I would love to talk to her, and that there's no threat this idiot could push to her that's going to be able to properly silence her, because clowns like him, all they can do is huff puff and complain. Oh, that's right, also show up at their doorstep and leave marks. One of the nice things about living in the States, if you did that to my house, I would have blown a hole in you. Or cut you in half. And frankly, I think she needs to invest in some protection if you're going to be that unhinged. So if you can get in contact with her and let her know I'd love to speak with her, I would love that. Because if I can find all the information I need, it's going to be more than just YouTube stuff. It's going to go into law enforcement.
100%.
Because I've genuinely had enough of freaks like this. Thank you, Weasel. I appreciate it.
Do you really think that me, the person who's up to 5 years younger than Danielle, is the abuser here? You can't be serious. The fact these two would contact the groomer knowingly and actually take the miserable excuse of a document at face value, emphasis on actually taking it at face value, all because they dislike me, is insanity. Now I'm crying in my room, so skeptical of love. Still I want it more. Yeah, that was a thing that happened. I'm sure you've probably seen the announcement in my Definitely Not Dead Discord server. Will I be quitting? Most likely. Putting aside the fact a friend, who I've known for maybe just under 4 years, turned out to be in the UTTP, and upon cutting him off, he literally swatted me, I've come to the realization, maybe this just isn't worth it. Like, making videos was already getting bothersome for me, even before I was monetized. I was doing it for the love of the game for the longest time, but since 2023, it just became much of a chore. I'm sure those who actually watch my content noticed my uploads slowing down. It used to be twice a week, to weekly, to bi-weekly, to monthly, to whenever I feel like it. I like the community I built. I like the amazing, wonderful people I got to meet. It was enjoyable. This was what I meant when I was talking in the leaked AIDS call, by the way. I valued the interactions I had with others more than whatever YouTube had to offer, and that's truly what I'll miss. I loved playing Splatoon with my viewers and friends. I loved playing Roblox with viewers. I loved how much fun I genuinely had. Lio can think whatever he wants, but my foot was already out the door. I cannot stand the Splatoon community, especially Splat Twitter, and I've been overwhelmingly vocal about my thoughts on this. I genuinely want to live a long and healthy life. It's insane. Every day I'll wake up, I remember, damn, I really make this content? I make Splatoon drama content? Like, this is depressing, bro. This is depressing. This is depressing. I hate this, bro. I hate my life, bro. I hate making these videos, bro. I make 300 pounds a month. I hate my life. Why do you think I complain about the Splatoon community so often? It's a horrible place to be in. So horrible I've seen countless content creators jumping ship in 2024 alone. No one wants to be in here, bro. People want to play the game. No one wants to be in the community. And I made the biggest mistake making that Fry video back in 2022. All this time, the interactions I had with people I actually enjoyed being around made the horrendous community tolerable. Every time I thought about quitting, I remembered how much fun I had bantering with others in VC. Even though they weren't much, I enjoyed it a lot. I've always appreciated the little things. A small act in your eyes can mean so much to me, as corny as that sounds. I had played Splatoon 1 and 2, but upon actually dipping my toes into the community, the nicest thing I can say is, it was truly a culture shock. The same community found a deleted tweet from when I was 15, essentially making an Austrian painter joke, and they were unironically throwing a fit over it. What did they want me to do? Fly over to Israel and apologize to the Jews? Like, I was looking for any, and I mean any reason to leave. And finally, like an angel from the heavens, the reason revealed itself to me. This whole thing is just stupid. I realized that beefing with two grown adults pushing middle age just wasn't worth it. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't amused by Lio's overreactions, but got stale quite fast. They can have their W or whatever makes them happy, I don't care. I just know this is the only thing they realistically have, so I won't take it away from them. But all jokes aside, I know I haven't been the best person. I've been through enough to make me the person I am today, and I've said and done things I can't take back. But at the end of the day, I'm 18. I still have plenty of room to grow and change. As soy and gay as it is, I've been going to therapy, on and off for a reason I'm sure Lio will leak, because obsessively stalking someone 20 years younger than you definitely isn't creepy. Never play Undertale, guys. Never play Undertale. But when I log off and go on with my life, I know I have a future ahead of me. I know that there's a difference between Vincent and vAqeii. I love to put on a character, regardless of how far I take it. But Lio, this is your future. There is no persona. You're middle-aged, have a wife, and yet you scream at people over Discord,
trying to convince them that you are a monster. Do not come at me with double standards. I will slap it out of your name every time. It's been a long time since I've gotten this heated, but you are genuinely a deranged, disgusting human being. And I'm tired of people just sitting there winking at your nonsense and continuing to allow you to do it. You will not get that courtesy from me. You are done. Do you understand me?
I just find it really hard because you genuinely believe I'm very malicious.
Oh my god! Shut up! Stop playing these games! I've outsmarted you multiple times now. Are you just so dumb that you can't tell that? There will be no more of this. None! I'm not doing this! We're not doing this!
But it was toys.
Hey Leute, ich bin Lio Convoy, falls ihr zum ersten Mal hier seid.
Wait, can you send me his YouTube channel? I wanna have a look.
He literally plays his toys like in his not his recent video, but the video before that one. He's literally playing with toys. He's literally playing with toys. His fat arms. Look how fat his arms are.
Oh yeah.
His arms are so fat. He plays with toys. It's like he plays with toys. At his big age. 13-year-old player with toys. Seeing calls with people who say this.
Well, actually, I popped her cherry last night. I pinned her down and ripped her and inside her, and she might get pregnant. My goal is to actually get her pregnant.
No, the thing is, you're.
I thought you had her butt.
No, sorry, sir. I actually took her hunting last night.
No,
real quick.
Can't do that.
You know how I didn't come to bed last night? That's because I was ripping her in the basement all night.
Fantastic.
Deny afterwards, which is justifiable. I deny the fact my own friend said something like this as well. The person you kept on saying fucks is your. This guy made a joke about Caitlin Coy when she was a minor.
That is not what he said.
That's what he said.
And we
That's
both
what
know
he said.
that.
That's what
That
he
is
said.
not what he said. You
Do you
are
have
so
recording of it?
unspeakably dishonest. Do you?
Do you have, I do.
Because all you do is
I
clip
do.
and clip. So post it.
I do. I do have the recording. He went and made a joke saying that he wanted to record as a
Post it
minor.
right now. Post it right now.
I have to cut the clip,
Right now.
Dio. I have to cut the clip, Dio. It's
I don't need the clip cut. I want the entire call.
It's over.
You dishonest
All
snake.
along. I can't post it on Discord, bro.
Boo-hoo. Spare me the laughter. Boo-hoo.
I can't post it on Discord. Tell people 20 years younger than you, they should be.
At this point, I just hope somebody doxes you, swats you, and then you get shot.
And more. I'm far from a saint. I'm not trying to lecture anyone, nor am I in the position to. I will never claim to be an arbiter of sainthood, but as the same as me, you're in no position to talk either. We're both hypocrites. We're both creators who cover people with horrible reputations to uplift ours. You can deny it, but it's true. The things you've done, compared to me, someone whose actions span from being a minor to 18, is not nearly comparable. Like I said, as a character, I say a lot of things I don't mean. Like Toastify won what? There was no debate! Where's the debate? He didn't win anything, right? I just remember this, but I don't think it made it into the final cut. I found it really interesting how Lio was so dedicated to believe I was some Toastify simp, when I quite literally had nothing bad to say about Lio's stream covering the situation. Like, I was literally in my server saying that, yeah, this is pretty good. Like, I really couldn't tell you what possessed him into thinking that. Like, there's a lot of things I say that I don't mean is in character, but you! Like, there's something wrong with you, and that's coming from me. At least I should have bettered myself. I don't know about you. Like, it's insane how me, someone who makes Splatoon drama content, who isn't even that involved in, like, the whole commentary drama sphere. Me! Even I heard about the whole Senate calls. Even I heard about it. Me! How did I hear about it? What are you? What was going on in those calls? Even I was hearing about it. What were you doing? You have a long history of this, bro. The fact that nobody like me was actually hearing about it is insane. If I grew up to be a middle-aged man with a wife who beefs with people decades younger than me over Discord simply because they were playing the hit indie game Undertale, I consider permanent alternatives. I've definitely said and done things I genuinely cannot take back, but growth will always be on the table. At 39, I don't know, man. You've lived long enough to realize this is ridiculous. You complain about me not taking you seriously, but let's be honest, I don't understand how I could ever do so with an overweight man who plays with toys.
No, I'm not just some hussy. I am a professional minx. You have to pay for that.
What's a mix?
Wait, so he put the mask back on and gave me a call. Are you scared of me, Akei? I think you're scared.
I'm gonna put it back on. Okay, hold on. Guys,
come on. Talk to Lio like a human being. Talk to Lio like a human being instead of a goddamn.
No,
I don't know if that's possible.
Guys, I need to actually say something. I have Undertale on my device. I have Undertale, and I haven't actually
Okay, so thanks for letting me know that you're scared of me. Thanks for letting me know you're just a giant, wavering, quivering pussy.
Yo. What are you laughing about?
You know how hard is it to stay in character? Why do you talk like that?
You don't scare me, Lio. It must be very difficult to stay in character when you're not a good actor.
That's really funny.
Why do you talk like that?
The only time.
Why do you talk like that? Why do you talk like that? Shut up! Oh my god! Oh my god! Shut up!
We got one person in here that we like talking, and you're not him.
Here's the thing, I have noticed, I have picked up watching you. The only time you actually start showing any sort of gumption is when you're dealing with a woman.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Which is why you threaten them. Which is why you do constant videos on them. They can't really just like not prefer the same Splatoon little girl you like. Would it go into the wrong one? They're not doing your preference of the little Splatoon girl? Is that wrong here?
God, bro.
Because I want to remind you. I want to remind you that the entire reason why you're particularly in this server is because your quote-unquote trolling was so epic you literally paid money to do it. That's pathetic.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're just making cash.
Yeah.
And having a bit of fun at his expense, honestly, I mean.
I'd also had an online daughter at some point. I feared you, Lio, because I saw a man who had literally nothing going for him. Nothing really to lose. That's a horrifying thought. I suppose the saying, people feel what they don't understand, actually has some merit. The fact he had dirt on me or whatever is minuscule compared to this. YouTube is a monetizable hobby. Like I said, if I really wanted extra spare change, I'd just get a job. Although, Lio, Caitlin Coy, I want you guys to celebrate. Celebrate. Do your victory lap, because you're no longer my problem. I don't want to deal with 2 30-year-old people. I don't want to deal with that. You guys have fun. This was vAqeii. Thanks for everything, and thanks for watching.